Let's see. All right, guys, we'll see how long this video lasts.
Ready?
This is Jared, Steven.
All right, Steven. So everything I'm going to tell you is going to be in a full written report, and I'll definitely get this to you and Cody today. Overall, the house is in really great shape. It's all little things. There's nothing concerning. There's a couple things I'd like the builder to check the plans and see if things are necessary or not. But a lot of it is pretty common type stuff. Here I'm just looking at the water meter, making sure there's no leaks in the water supply line. On the outside, there's a lot of areas, or just a few areas actually. They've house wrapped the home very well. There's just some areas that they need to reseal or flash to prevent water from getting in, like above the corners of the garage door openings, kind of near the roof soffit at some of the corners. And these are just to prevent water or moisture from getting in, even after the siding is installed. Some of the windows, the flashing tape was a little loose at the top, but also, I have a better picture, but they kind of underlapped the flashing. They need to overlap the flashing above the windows, and there's 3 windows where that's needed. And I'll mention where they are in the report. Another area, this is that needs to be sealed with flashing tape. This is at the top left and right corners of the rear patio. At the very back left rear corner of the home, there's a wood form board that needs to be removed, mainly just to prevent termites from wanting to get at it. All right, now we're in the home, we're in the garage. The very bottom sill plates, you need to have 2 bolts per section, so we need to add a bolt between the overhead garage door sections and in at least one other place. Some of the bolts are missing their nuts. They need to add the nuts. Many of the bolts have loose nuts. They need to tighten those around the perimeter of the home. This was a very minor little split in the sill plate. Typically they will brace that, and I will mention that in the report as well. And then they need to have sill plate bolts near the ends of any, where 2 sill plate sections come together. So there's at least 2 areas where that's needed. Above the overhead garage door header, some of the studs aren't in contact, so they need to add shims and then glue and seal those. Same with under several of the windows. I'll mention that as well. Here I want them to check the plans to see if they need rafter ties. There are little metal supports that go on all the rafters that secure it to the walls to prevent roof uplift in case you have any major wind issues such as tornado. They're required in some areas, not others. This is called a diagonal lead-in brace. They just need to glue it into position in the garage. Metal joist hangers around the opening for the attic in the garage. They're just missing their nails on some of them. This little sill plate strap needs to be re-secured in place in the laundry room. And then this is under some of the windows where they need to add shims and glue them in place just so the window sills don't shift. They just need to tighten up the sides of the studs on the door to the pantry. And this is another thing I want them to check the plans. Ideally, they should have a rafter tie, a collar tie holding these rafters together. I'll have them check the plans to see if that's necessary. I think there was only 2 studs that I'm going to call out that were like overly split where they need to either replace them or support them with another stud. And I'll mention where they are in the report. On a couple of the doors, I think they had the doors too short. They had the standard size door and they raised them to the oversized doors. They just need to rewire the electric wiring on a couple of doors. And I'll mention which doors those are at. Above the rear wall of the living room, they just need to foam seal the penetrations in the T-ply sheathing just to prevent any air penetration coming in from the rear patio. Almost done here. The exhaust vent is heavily dented. I think when they put this brace in here, somebody bent it. This is for the bathroom at the right rear bedroom. So they're probably gonna just need to replace that. Once these are bent like that, you can't really unbend them. That's the other stud that was just kind of split at the bottom. It'll need to be supported. And then now I'm in the attic. Here I'm looking at the HVAC unit, all the ductwork, and then I have several pictures just showing different areas of the attic. Overall, the roof framing members and roof sheathing looked good. There were a couple areas where some of these support studs were not in contact with the strong back above in the attic. I'll mention where those were at. And then lastly, I'm on the roof. The roof's in really good shape. Shingles look good. All the roof penetrations are well sealed. I don't think I had any issues with the roof at all. The only thing I need to do is just repaint, caulk and paint all the vents, which they do that when the painters come near the end. There is one thing, the roof, the rain cap is loose on the B vent at the top right side of the roof. They just need to fasten that in place better. And that is it. So overall, this is actually really good. It's a lot of little things. There's nothing major. I'll get this to you guys today. You can always call me, text me, email me if you want to discuss it further. And I'm always available throughout the whole build. If you guys see anything that you don't like or have any questions, you can always get in touch with me.
Cool. Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.